Alright, so I made that video on Spyro 1 Reignited after completing it, and however many of you guys watched it, thank you for watching it. Well, I just finished Spyro 2, just completed it, and I'm gonna talk about it. I didn't like it as much as the first one. Don't get me wrong, it was still good and the level design was better, but overall, I enjoyed the first one more. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the first one was a lot simpler. The second one added a lot of these mini games, which changed up the gameplay and added more to the game, but at the same time, I didn't actually like any of the mini games. Like, any of them. Each mini game was a chore that I just had to do. I liked the levels themselves, they were fun, and I liked collecting things in the levels, but the actual mini games did not, in my opinion, add to the experience. Also, once again, the speedways suck ass. I don't know. Please tell me if any of you like them, because they're not fun. They're annoying and difficult. And by the way, I just want to come out and say this. I hate Hunter. I really hate Hunter. He's gross looking, and seeing him fly in with those fucking backpack wings with his goofy ass cheetah body, it doesn't look right. It's creepy, and fuck him. With that being said though, like the first game, I liked all of the levels. They were all very different from each other. They all had their own unique thing. Like Mario 64, for example, that game, a lot of those levels are they look very similar, like asset-wise. Spyro, on the other hand, and now Spyro 2, I'm not sure if this applies to the original PS1 games, but at least for the Reignited Trilogy, everything looks completely different. Each level has a completely different style to it, and you can't mistake one for another. I have very strange feelings towards Spyro 2, because overall I really liked it. The boss fights were better than the first one, absolutely. The levels were more involved, but at the same time, I didn't like the minigames. I feel like if they had followed the same formula as Spyro 1 and just have collectibles, I would have liked it a lot more. That's because the levels were better designed, but instead, a lot of the game was bogged down by a bunch of minigames that seemed like a chore more than anything. I mean, the main objective in each level, the one that gets you to the end of the stage and opens up the portal to leave the stage, those are fine. It's all the other ones in between that just don't make any sense and just kind of pad out the gameplay, and that's half the game. And the only thing worse than that is the backtracking. The backtracking that makes literally no sense. Backtracking in and of itself is already annoying. I don't think there's ever a time in any game where people enjoy not being able to finish a stage and needing to do something later on in the game to come back and finish what they were doing. It's very annoying. But in a game like this, it's made even more nonsensical because it's not like you have to go a couple stages further in the game and then unlock something that you have to go back and finish completing the other half of the level. It's like they leave one thing out of the level you were just on, and all you have to do is go to the next area to get the thing, to go back and get the thing you were missing. But the irritating part is that you have to leave the area you're in, wait for a loading screen to get to the next one, go to the thing, moneybags or whatever the fuck, get something, and then just go through another loading screen again just to go back where you were to get one orb. It just makes no sense. And the epitome of all this was one level where I had to go, not only did I have to go back just to get one orb, but, alright, just for context, in one of the levels, you have to get an orb from Hunter, but you can't do the minigame with Hunter until you help Hunter because he's like stuck, and getting him unstuck requires you to beat a minigame. The only problem is, once you beat it and get an orb for beating it, it doesn't stay like that. Once you leave the level, Hunter goes right back to how he was. And you need an ability that you learn later on to do that minigame with Hunter after you rescue him. So basically, I beat most of that stage, I got as many orbs as I could, and then the only one locked out was the one that I needed the ability for. So then later on, very soon later on, like 5 minutes later, I learned the ability, and then when I wanted to go back to finish the minigame that I couldn't start because I didn't have that head bash ability, I couldn't do it without doing the minigame that I had already beaten before. So not only did I have to do an annoying minigame that was not fun, but I was then required to do it twice in a situation where the game did not convey to me that I would need an ability to finish what I was trying to do. And it was even more irritating because my girlfriend told me that I couldn't finish that stage without having the head bash ability, but all I thought was, oh, okay, cool, I'll do as much as I can and then come back when I have the ability. No one told me that you can do more of the stage that you're gonna have to then redo once you have the ability. That's fucking nuts. Why did they do that? And I know this game means a lot to a lot of people. I'm not trying to shit on anyone's parade. I did like the game. I just don't understand how this is like the most liked one. I haven't played 3 yet, but as far as I've been told, that game gets even more convoluted. I don't know. I don't know why people hold this one in higher regard than the first one. I get that the first one was simpler and the level design in this one was better, but it was a lot more streamlined in the first one. There's a lot more filler in Spyro 2. But I guess maybe the level design and the addition of all those extra characters is what made it memorable, especially to people when they were kids. And I don't usually chalk things up to nostalgia, but in this situation, I think it kind of applies. For example, trouble with the trolley, eh? Yeah, everyone remembers that. Was the minigame fun? No. Did any of you guys like it? Or did you just remember because you had to play the minigame 5,000 times because it's hard and stupid? I remember trouble with the trolley, eh? Oh no, I actually have to play the game. Fuck. I guess I'm looking at this all from a different angle because I have no nostalgia for these games. I did not play them growing up, but in my experience of being a first-time player of these games, I enjoyed the first one more than the second one. But on the flip side, the second one is more memorable because of the cast of characters and the more intricate worlds and everything. And I think that's why everybody remembers it more, and I think that's why they like it more, not necessarily for the gameplay. That's just my opinion. And I am in no way saying that anyone that likes one game more than the other game is wrong. Everybody has their opinions. This is just an observation, and I'm analyzing a thing. If you like the second game more, good on you. I am happy for you. That's just more games you get to like. I'm not saying I hated it. I liked it. I'm just explaining why I liked one better, and I'm just giving you my opinion. Overall though, despite the filler, or at least what I view as filler, them trying to diversify the gameplay and instead padding it with stuff that did not necessarily make the game more fun, I did like the game. It was fun. I did have a good time. I completed it, so obviously I fucking liked it. I just like the first one better. There you go. Also, Ripto was a way better villain. He was actually a well-written villain. Nasty Nork was just, I'm angry. Ripto was a good villain. I liked his character. He was good. So that was good. That's a good thing. I just wish I could figure out what the fuck he's supposed to be.